The A7C redefined the Alpha lineup by introducing a compact and sleek full-frame mirrorless camera, ideal for portability without compromise on performance. With many technology improvements seen in the Alpha lineup over the past few years, I'm really pleased to show you not one, but two new A7C cameras, the A7C Mark II and the A7CR. Weighing in at 525 grams and sharing the same size body, the A7Cs are slightly heavier than the Mark Is by 16 grams and a little bit deeper thanks to a far better grip. Both cameras feature an upgraded sensor, with the Mark II housing a full-frame 33 megapixel backside illuminated XMOR CMOS sensor, now in line with the A7 Mark IV, whilst the A7CR houses a massive 61 megapixel sensor, which we find inside of the A7R Mark V. This is a huge improvement over the predecessor's 24 megapixels, and with both cameras now partnered with the Barnsley XR processor, we find a staggering improvement in the end image quality, whether in stills or video, along with a superior performance in focusing, low light and stabilisation too. Holding a camera steady while shooting handheld can sometimes be a challenge, especially when shooting with a high-resolution sensor. Inside each of the cameras, we find a 5-axis image stabilisation capable of compensating up to 7 stops, helping to minimise any shake that might occur. This is ideal when anyone looking to capture the best from their camera without the aid of a tripod, whether you are travelling, packing light, or just really can't be bothered to carry one. I am notorious for shooting handheld, and on days like today where the weather is a little bit hit and miss, the stabilisation really helps in those darker moments. When it comes to video, you can capture 4K content from an oversampled image, with a full pixel readout and no pixel binning, resulting in a highly detailed end result. On the Mark II you can shoot at 30p using the full sensor, or at 60p in a Super 35 format. Whereas on the A7CR you can shoot in 60p with a 1.2 times crop, or 30p in a Super 35 format from an oversampled 6.2K image. When stepping down to Full HD, you can unlock up to 5 times slow motion at 120 frames per second, perfect for those high octane moments. With 10-bit 422 colour sampling available, along with S-Log3, S-Cinetone and LUTs, your creative options in post are really rather extensive. It's also worth mentioning that you have the option of active mode while shooting video, taking your stabilisation to the next level, helping to smooth out any of those bumps and jolts as possible. This is an ideal setting to use whilst recording handheld footage without the aid of a gimbal. First seen on the ZV-E1, both of the new A7Cs adopt Sony's auto-framing technology, making them an ideal companion for solo shooting. You can set up in your settings how close you wish the camera to crop in, or how fast you wish for it to track you as you move across the frame. As you move and walk around the frame, the camera digitally crops in and tracks you, giving a far more dynamic content that would otherwise be fairly static and boring. You can see the original shot via the viewfinder and the box tracking me as I move. One thing to note when using a wide-angle lens is that when you get to the edge of the frame, you will see some distortion due to the camera using the entire sensor, effectively putting you at the edge of the frame. So for the best results, I would recommend shooting beyond 35mm to reduce this. The ISO varies on both cameras, with the Mark II ranging from 100 to 51,200, which is expandable from 50 to 204,800, whereas the R ranges from 100 to 32,000, which is expandable from 50 to 101,400. Focusing is also now possible down to -4 EV, seeing a one-stop improvement over the Mark I. There are 759 phase detection autofocus points on the Mark II and 693 on the R, which cover up to 94% of the imaging area. With that many points, you have serious control over exactly where you would like the camera to focus, even if your subject is fairly small within your frame. These points, when combined with Sony's latest real-time AI subject recognition, are a powerful partnership, letting you customize what you would like the camera to focus on. This means that the A7Cs can actually detect key points of the human body, like the nose, eyes, neck and shoulders, and even the angles, helping to keep you or your human subjects in focus as they move throughout the frame. But the AI technology doesn't just recognize humans. You now have the option of birds, animals, insects, cars, trains, and even aeroplanes, allowing you to tailor your setup for the subjects that you wish to capture. You can capture up to 10 frames per second on the Mark II, matching that of the predecessor, or up to a slightly lower 8 frames per second on the A7CR, which, although is less than before, is still pretty respectable considering that you're capturing an enormous 61 megapixel stills. The cameras are designed to withstand tough environments that traditional cameras may not be able to handle. With a durable magnesium alloy build, which is both dust and moisture resistant, you can continue shooting in confidence and spend less time worrying about the conditions that you're working in. Keeping in line with Sony's sustainability plan, the camera's plastic parts are made from Sourplast, a material created from recycled CDs and plastic bottles. The grip sees an improvement taken from user feedback, which is now deeper than the previous model, giving a better handling when using heavier or longer lenses. There has also been a redesign of the buttons and dials, resulting in a far easier access to the essential settings, which includes the stills and video dial, the front dial, and the custom buttons just on the side. We find a USB-C port for data transfer and charging, both a headphone and microphone socket, along with a micro HDMI port so you can link the A7Cs up to an external monitor or recorder. There is of course Sony's multi-interface hot shoe on top, allowing you to easily connect one of Sony's microphones, like the recently announced ECM M1. We also see the same UHS 2 compatible SD card slot, ideal for those higher frame rates in both stills and video. Powering the camera is Sony's NP-FZ100 battery, which is commonly seen in their other mirrorless systems. The battery lasted throughout my time whilst using the camera and had plenty of life left in it at the end, even though I came prepared with a spare. Sony has also announced this, a small detachable grip that comes included with the R and is an optional extra with the Mark II. It's a fairly simple design and allows your little finger to sit far more comfortably while shooting, but a really clever thing that Sony has made is that you can now unlock the flap and drop it down to replace the battery without the need of removing the grip. The A7C brought a full-frame camera close to the size of an APS-C body, resulting in a high-performance system that's small and compact. The Mark II takes all of those great features we've seen from Sony and updates the internals to meet the demands of today's hybrid shooters, whereas the A7CR takes it that one step further and empowers you with a high-resolution 61 megapixel sensor. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that bell to get notifications of all our latest content. And if you'd like any more information, please check out the link below or pop into your local London Camera Exchange.